Alright, so I'm just going to go back in with my Too Faced concealer and conceal under my eyes. I think I put a bit too much there. And I like to first go in with a brush. Just get that in there. And go down the side of my nose a bit. But yeah, so I made the plan. I was going to approach her, book in, because my manager wasn't in on the day that I had this coffee with my colleague, so I had to book in a day to see her. I'm just blending it out now with a Real Techniques blending sponge, or complexion sponge as they say. I'm gonna over blend it. So yeah, so I booked in that date, and when the date came, I actually booked it in for the afternoon because we had like a really big thing happening during the day, so I didn't want it to be like one of the first things, and it's such a big day, and I didn't know how the conversation might go. But when my manager came to speak to me that day, she was like, do you want to move it forward, let's have the conversation now, like whatever you're going through, because I didn't say in the booking of the meeting what we was going to discuss. I just kind of said, you know, one-to-one, just a one-to-one meeting. So then in the meeting, I literally went through each item that I had went back and listed. Like after my coffee, I went and listed all the things that I felt were an issue, and I brought that to the list to the meeting. That was essential. Like often when we have to have these really difficult conversations and we don't write it down, that can be detrimental because you forget the things that are important that you need to bring up. So it was really good that I had that list so I could refer back to that list. Right, I'm just gonna go in with my Morphe Bronzer. This is in the shade Showmance, so it's show and romance, so you get both the bronzer and the highlight. And I'm going to go in with my Revolution Pro 250 brush for my bronzer and bronze up my face. I don't contour, I just bronze. So I love the look it gives me. So yeah, with a light hand, all up, just carve out my cheekbones, up the side of my head, and around my widow's peak, because I got that big McDonald's sign. If you know, you know. Nothing I can do about it, born like that. So yeah, I bought the list, we discussed each point, and it was very, very, very productive. I'm extremely happy that I did have that conversation, because it's not that I wanted necessarily an apology, it was more the realization that she had approached the situation wrong. And I had said to her, because when I first started in the role, I said to her, if I ever have a problem, I will come to you. And so by me saying that, that's me verifying to you, that's what I expect in return, because that's the respect I'm giving you, so that's the respect I expect in return. So, you know, she apologised and she said what she'd done was absolutely wrong and she should never have done that. And I think, oh, no one's talking to you, Bixby. Sorry, my Samsung phone, man. Keep going off. I need to put my phone on silent. Anyway, I'm just going to go down my neck a bit. I've got this bruise on my neck, or this birthmark, something, but I don't know what it is. It never goes away. Anyway, so we had that conversation. I'm just blending in for life, dear life. And, you know, she was just like, she shouldn't have acted that way. It wasn't appropriate, which it wasn't. And it was important that she really realised that not only have I identified your wrongdoing, but I'm challenging you on it. So, And it's not a confrontational thing. It's just like, you are in a position of power, don't abuse it. And don't think that you can walk over people just because they're in a lower position than you are. It's not acceptable. You know, I'm an educated female. And even if I wasn't educated to the extent that I am, it still wouldn't be right. But I am an educated female. And I have a brain. I have been through things. I have a child. So you can't treat me as a child. I have one myself. You know, treat me with respect that I treat you with, you know. So I'm going to go in with this Estate highlighter in Dew Me, in Dew Me Lit, baked highlighter powder. I'm going to use my Spectrum highlighter brush. Love this. I've never used this highlighter before, so it might go all wrong. Ooh, that is bright. Don't blend that. Whoa, that's what you call a highlight, boy. Yas, I'll be shining for days. So anyway, back to the story. So yeah, we had that conversation and it was very helpful, and it was also it gave me the opportunity to bring up other issues that, you know, I wanted to discuss, like workloads and things like that. And it actually enabled her to see that, okay, we need to go back to having our one-to-ones every week. We need to go back to actually communicating in the way that we were at the beginning. And just because things are busy or, you know, we're overworked doesn't mean that they should stop. I'm just gonna highlight the tip of my nose. Get that little sparkle. Beautiful. And down the ridge of my nose. Bellissima. I'll do a little bit like that. And then my Cupid's bow. Beautiful. A bit more. So anyway, that was very helpful, but I just want to put a little bit of highlighter because I feel like it needs it and I can't open it now. There we go. On one of these tiny little brushes. I can't remember what type of brush this is, but I've got a tiny little brush and I'm just gonna go boop, 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 in here and in here, and really make that eye pop, baby, pop. Woo, chat. So anyway, so that was really helpful. I'm now going to spray my face because I don't like to put on mascara, anything like that, without spraying my face first, because you don't want wet eye. I mean, you don't want to put mascara on, then you spray, then you go, and then the mascara goes all on your eye makeup. So, and I have to say again, I absolutely love this setting mist by Morphe because it's a mist. Like, I've used quite a few different setting sprays and something, like it's a spray. So you spray it and it's like it shocks you. And then I'm gonna go in with my the tin is, the lid's a bit cracked, but anyway, this is a Rimmel Stay Matte. What is it actually called? Transparent powder. So I'm gonna get my big Real Techniques powder brush. I love this brush, it's amazing. Go in with that and just set my concealer under my eyes. Some people do this bit before they put on highlighter and bronzer, but the highlighter is not moving, so it's fine. Then I go in underneath my bronzer, because the bronzer is powder, so you don't need to go in again with powder. All on my chin. Again, this side. My nose, because that is the worst place for shining for me. And my forehead. because I get a shiny forehead. Then I again go in, because I feel like when you first spray your foundation, it sets the foundation, the contour, the highlighter, the eyeshadow, it sets that. And then when you spray again, it'll set the powder and bring some life back to your face. So now, I was gonna do a wing liner, but I hate doing wing liners. And although I love the way it looks, I can't be bothered. So I'm just gonna go in with my amazing NARS Climax mascara. I love this mascara. I think I'm gonna need to get a new tube. This is like £20, but it's fantastical. But I think I had this a couple of months and it's starting to run out now, although it still does an impeccable job. So yeah, so having that conversation with my manager really helped to set some boundaries. It was for both of us to explore our expectations of each other and really set it so both of us know, you know, what we expect from each other. And now we have a more open communication. We communicate much better. And I feel like I can now have that relationship back with her, because at the end of the day, we actually got on very well. So I think I wasn't just upset that, you know, she had done that. It was like, we have a better relationship than that. We shouldn't have to be having this conversation because we should be more open. And it was just understanding that she's not good with social interactions all the time, so maybe she admitted she didn't handle the situation good at all, and she should have handled it better. And I was very grateful for her for being honest and just accepting that she didn't do right, like. But you know, I think it's not something I went through alone. I think a lot of us go through these things, and I think a lot of us don't say anything. We just allow it to continue. But when you allow something like that to continue, it can get worse. But on the other hand, sorry, I have to do this. On the other hand, I do completely understand why people don't approach their managers about certain things, because you don't know what the repercussions may be for you in the organisation. Whether that's, you know, are you going to keep your job? Are they going to just let you go? You know, make up something and let you go? Or are you going to get someone that's going to actually see their faults and try and make better of the situation, like it was for me? I get that, but one thing that I took from my conversation with my colleague was like, can it get worse? You're currently uncomfortable at work, you're unhappy, you're coming in every day feeling like you're being criticised for what you're doing. Can it get worse? So if you approach your boss and you lose your role, that is obviously the worst thing that can happen. But would you want to stay in that toxic situation? Because it is toxic. Because that plays heavily on your mental health. Heavily. This is somewhere you spend 95% of your time. Other than commuting, work. If you work 5 days a week especially, you spend more time at work than anywhere else. So you can imagine just think about what impact that would have on your mental health if you go to work upset every single day, not know what your place is at work every day, and just have to get on. It's not good. And it will show in emotionally for you, mentally for you, physically, because we all know that stress and anxiety does not bode well for our bodies. So it's really important that you think about these things. If you're going through this, speak to someone. You may not be able to have that conversation with your boss. You may not. It may not be something you can do. But if you have a HR and you're comfortable with them, speak to HR. If you have other colleagues that you're comfortable with, or other management especially that you're comfortable with, speak to them, because you cannot exist somewhere that you spend so much time and be so unhappy. It's not good. And we only get a certain amount of time in this world. So to have to live in a workplace where you're continuously unhappy, life's too short. Life is way too short. And yeah, things are hard. There's lack of work. There's, things are hard, but what's worse is staying in a situation where you're not valued, you're not happy, and you're stressed out. And yeah, it's not the right thing to do. I'm just going to do my lips now, and I've left my lipstick in my bag, so bear with me. So for this look, I'm actually going to use the Revolution Pro. This is actually, I don't know what the full name is of this actually, it's bad. But this stick, I think it's just a Revolution Pro stick. But you can actually use it, it's multiple use. So you can use it on your cheeks, your lips, eyes, anywhere you like. Contouring, whatever. And I've got it in the colour, this shade Prefigure. And it's a nice like browny colour, and it suits me quite a bit, so go with that. But what I want you to take from this video, more than anything, is, first of all, something that I've had to learn over the years, is people only do to you what you allow. If, like me, you got a manager who is talking about you on your back and things like that, and you don't say anything, you are allowing it. You're allowing it to continue because you're keeping quiet about it. So, oh, what is wrong with me today? Just a bit of a mess, isn't it? Oh, a bit of a mess. But yeah, people only do what you allow them to do. So you have to seriously analyse your situation and say, can I put up with this situation continuing? If the answer to that question is no, then you've got to figure out what's the best way for you to approach it. And if the best way for you to approach it is to leave, that might be one thing. But I think the better thing to do is to speak to the person and be non-confrontational about it. It's not about going in there and saying, you did it. No, we're professional people. So you go in there and you say, I'd just like to discuss these things that have actually been weighing down on me quite deeply and affecting my work. It's all about the way you approach things. So this is the look for today. Sorry, that was a bit bad. This is the look for today. I like it a lot. It's like a sunrise look. Can you see it? Can you see the sunrise? It's beautiful. I absolutely love this Huda Beauty palette. You can get so many looks out of it. It's sublime. And this Revolution Pro, this stuff does not come off. Like, until you wipe that off with some makeup remover, it's not moving. I feel like I should go back in. Hey. There we go. Do a bit more. There we go. What do you think? So guys, I know it's been a bit of a long one discussing this, but I think it's a very important topic. And Mental Health Awareness Week month is coming, so I thought it was kind of went well. A lot of us don't know, and I just want to make a point in this video. Just because you're not diagnosed with a mental illness does not mean that you can't feel down, doesn't mean that you can't feel low, doesn't mean that you don't get anxious. We all go through periods, every single one of us, unfortunately, where our mental health is not at its best. That's why it's really important to do the things that make you happy, to try your best to stay positive and put yourself around people and in situations that are beneficial to you, whether that's relationships, friendships, workplaces, whatever the case may be, is vital. And I think a lot more people should talk about mental health. Most of us have someone in our lives that suffer with some sort of mental health affliction. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this video here, guys. This is the look. I hope you liked getting ready with me. Haven't done one of these videos for a very long time, so it was quite nice, and it was nice to sit down and have a deep conversation with you guys. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If you are new, thank you. If you watched this whole video and got to this stage, thank you. I really appreciate it. To all my subscribers that have stuck around and are still watching my videos, I really am grateful. I really do want to build this channel, and it's with you guys' support that will happen. So I just want to thank you, and I hope you continue to enjoy my videos. And if there's anything you'd like me to record, you'd like to see, please do let me know. You know, leave it in the comments and I will reply, and I will try to do the video that you request. And I think I got makeup on my lips though. There we go, better, it's shining now. So yeah guys, until the next one, have an amazing day, week, month, year, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye guys.